I think we're set. I have Stefan and Mario here. I'm going to give them a chance to introduce themselves in a minute. My name is Marta. There doesn't need to be a lot of introductions on my end. I'm honored to have uh, my speakers today with me from BlackFort Exchange. I have Stefan Huber and Mario. They're both sitting at a table of BlackFort Exchange. Maybe a quick introduction by yourselves, lads. If you just want to give us, what do you do in the project, and we're going to kick off with the questions I've prepared for you.
Yes, sure. First of all, it's nice to be here with you. Thank you for this AMA. I think it's gonna be quite cool, and it's gonna be a conversation that'll be interesting. Yeah, we are two people from BlackFort here today, joining this AMA. My name is Stefan. I'm the CEO. I'm one of the founders of the BlackFort group of companies and provider of cryptocurrency services. And I have my colleague here, Mario, who is our CIO. And yeah, we are here to talk about the BlackFort.
Perfect. So, Mario, you are the CIO. What does it mean? And yeah, like what do you do in the project?
All right, so that's my turn now. So first of all, thank you very much for having us today. Yeah, like Stefan said, I'm the CIO, Chief Investment Officer of BlackFort Exchange Network. I'm basically responsible for tokenization of real world assets. This is a topic we're gonna speak about today, and a little bit maybe regarding my background in crypto. I've been in the crypto space for more than 10 years now. I was founder of one of the largest crypto education companies in Europe. Later on, I had my own crypto exchange, which focused on securitized assets, like security tokens. And I've been joining BlackFort as the latest C-level member about a year and a half ago. And yeah, it's going to be some interesting things. I think Stefan's going to give you an introduction about basically what we are and what we do in a few words, and then we'll dig a little deeper.
Awesome. But you're not just a layer of one. You do a lot more. And of course, the hot topic of real world assets is coming into the conversation in a while. But the main question is what BlackFort Exchange Network actually is, because you do a lot.
Yes, that's a very good question, and I will give you an overview of our ecosystem. So basically, we did start out initially not as a blockchain provider. We started out as a development team that started building wallet applications for Android and for iPhone platform. And specifically, this was our first product, BlackFort Wallet, that we launched into the market about 3.5 years ago, whereby you could have multi-currency on it. You have your keys in your hand. You can import your own keys. You have it in your hand, and do all the Web3 interaction that you want to do. Now, obviously, coming from this space, and I'll go another step back here, I actually come from the mining of cryptocurrencies. So I've been doing cryptocurrency mining since end of 2013-14. Started with the Bitcoin mining, and then later, actually with Mario together, started the Ethereum mining. And this is basically where it comes from, this whole idea that, we implemented our knowledge in this space in a way that we wanted to come up with a product to put into the market that anyone can use. So that came up to be with the BlackFort wallet. And, since we built our product and we're pretty techy, we have our tech guy team, we wanted to move forward in not only spending money on marketing, for example, but build something that can also carry out these products into the market. And by the time we had this idea where to put the competencies of our team that we now had around us, By the way, that time it was already around 20 developers. We thought, is there a gap in the market? Is there maybe a vacuum somewhere? And this was, exactly at that time. And I think you've been in crypto for some time as well. When it first started to be very expensive to actually do smart contract interaction on Ethereum. I think this was like 2 years, 1.5 years ago. In that time where we said, okay, let's build something. Let's build our own blockchain, but let's do it in a way where we take something that is readily available, but we add our idea on top of it. So what we did is we built the BlackFort Exchange Network. That is an EVM core blockchain. And what we did is we removed all of this mining algorithm. At that time, it was not Ethereum 2.0 yet. And actually installed our own validation method, which is the proof of stake authority, making this different in block height, making it different in the speed of it, and also making it easier and more accessible for people to become validators on blockchain, going back to the idea of decentralizing such as Bitcoin. That would be my intro to the BlackFort Exchange Network, how it came to be.
That is very impressive, and I'm sure a lot of us listeners here can relate to expensive Ethereum and any solution there that can. I guess a lot of blockchains have tried to match the popularity of that network. However, not all have successfully, put their name out there. But seeing, your work and how you have developed, you have definitely established yourself pretty well in the market. But Stefan, I don't know if you want to take it further and tell us a little bit more about the BlackFort Layer 1 blockchain. Is there any more you would like to add?
Yes, of course. I would like to do that. So before I go into something dry, such as transactions, we have more than 1.4 million transactions. We have over 7 million blocks that are produced in our system that had no error, by the way, with a lot of testing time before actually going to exchanges and just offering to the market itself. We had a lot of preparation and going back to this idea of decentralizing something that would be less, less of a burden on electricity and also the entering into the production of cryptocurrency, we made something that is, and you can say it very easily, but widely scalable for people. So just to understand, our whole system is very, very light. It leaves room for up to 304,000 instances to be able to become validators on our blockchain or delegators into our network to secure it. And on the other hand, we made it efficient by making it a set of smart contracts in its core, whereby it will call only the functions that you need it to call. So for example, you're going to send a equivalent to ERC20, which is BXP20 on our blockchain. It will only call this smart contract and leave out all the others. So it has much less. Has much less weight to calculation, and therefore making it also, open to having more height in our block.
So so am I understanding it correctly? Like the congestion part of it is basically solved with that?
Yes, because you can run very many validator nodes, and the distribution is very easy in this system. So a lot of instances can work on a lot of load at the same time.
So it's not only fast, but it's also cheap. That's what we want.
Very cheap, yes. So with one BXN that is now quite cheap, you can do, more than 1,000 transactions at the moment. So we are designing it to be in volume to scale. That brings us to another philosophy of ours that we want to position this brand, let's say brand, and not only blockchain, into the into the market by saying that we don't want to compete with the other big blockchains, because everyone solves a different issue. So what we want to do is we want to make it so scalable and fast enough for it to be able to be adopted into real world companies, for example. And I'll just give one quick example. If you had, let's say, a production facility that would like to use blockchain as a sort of backup security entry for data in the production of, let's say, a product, you could have a second set of eyes that are technical and unchangeable to see where in your production line maybe something goes missing, where something goes broken, for example, and management would have always another set of eyes on the whole efficiency of companies. So that's actually what we're doing right now, partnering up with companies to find as much adoption in real world companies as possible.
That is certainly the way to go with crypto and mass adoption, and finding ways to get to the masses and make it very easy and, like you said, scalable. But you have already mentioned the token, so maybe Mario, you want to take over and tell us a little bit more about the BXN token and the utilities that it actually has.
Perfect. That's a good question for me. So yeah, as Stefan already said, the BXN is the layer 1 token of the entire ecosystem, and as we all know, especially in times like this, it is more and more important that if you come up, with a new project, that utility is the key. The more different kinds of people, are going to use your products and your services, and therefore also your token, the more likely is it that you're going to be a long-term player on the market. And for us, it was very, very important that we already built a utility before even entering the market. So we've been listed on some major exchanges for like a week or two now, but we already have lots of utility in place. And I'll give you like our 3 core utilities we are having for now. So number 1 is, Stefan already said that one of our first products was our own BlackFort wallet. So we've overhauled this wallet over the last years and have launched a new version of the BlackFort wallet about a year ago. By the way, it's a very, very cool wallet. You can download it in the App Store and Android Store already. We have, I think, about already 270,000 downloads, and it's a really cool wallet, also especially for DeFi people, because we are one of the very first ones that have integrated a so-called Web3 antivirus, which basically helps new people in the space, if they get into DeFi, whenever they are connecting to a smart contract or sending funds to different addresses, this Web3 antivirus will basically scan this smart contract for you and will tell you whether it's safe or not, because there have been lots of instances where people, connected to the wrong smart contracts and their wallets got drained. It's just simply because they didn't know what they were doing. So, and based on this wallet, we also have a built-in utility, which means if you're holding a certain percentage of your portfolio in BXN on our wallet, you will get some really cool goodies. I know you will get cash back for every buy and sell of crypto you do via the wallet, or whenever you swap some cryptocurrencies, you will get a cash back in BXN. Then you'll get airdrops for future projects that are coming, whitelisting. So it's a really, really cool thing. You're getting stuff back on the wallet. So that's utility number 1. Utility number 2 is we are also are very, very far in launching our own financial services product. So in a couple of weeks from now, we will be able to, first in the European countries, then we will roll it out worldwide. We will be able to offer bank accounts, IBAN bank accounts to our community in combination with a debit card. So people will, we will make it very, very easy to on-ramp and off-ramp from fiat to crypto and vice versa. And in this ecosystem of that financial services, you will also have the option to kind of like lock a certain number of BXN token, and then you'll get reduced transaction fees. You'll get account management fees reduced. So there's lots of different real world benefits you're going to have for holding BXN token there. And the third utility, which we are very, very proud of, which we are also going to launch in a couple of weeks from now, is the tokenization of real estate. So over the last year, we've built a legal framework. So that was a really tough one, to be honest, because in the way we are approaching it, we're going to be the first ones worldwide. So we've created this infrastructure where we are tokenizing real estate in the first place, so people will be able to, buy fractions of apartments via a asset-backed utility token, what we call it, and they, you can basically buy, 1% of an apartment, and you will be, you will get paid out dividends from renting out this apartment, and whenever we sell it in the future, all these token holders will also benefit from the profit over there. And so we have all these things, from buying and selling apartments to managing apartments to be able to send out dividends in USDT directly to your wallet, all the way to the platform we're building on it. So it's all fully licensed and all in-house. So we do not have to rely on any other companies for that matter. And in the future, you will be able to basically use the BXN Layer 1 token as a payment for these real world assets tokens for a discount. So that's got pretty cool thing. So these three utilities we are already having in place. Of course, there is more and more utility coming up in the near future, but that's what we are already starting in the market, and it's almost ready to launch. So for the people from Europe, for instance, if you're interested in getting a really cool bank account with a crypto debit card, you can already go to blackfortpay.com and type in your email address, and then you'll be notified whenever we will launch. So yeah, that's basically the three main utilities we are starting it off with. And like I said, way more to be added in the near future.
I am loving what I'm hearing. Many who know me and follow me, I've often asked and have been looking for actually this sort of bridge between crypto and fiat, where I can offload my assets, and the debit card sounds amazing. But I'm really curious. The project is very versatile, and you are covering a lot of the ground here. I've had a quick look at your white paper, and it is very excessive. So maybe in short, Stefan, you would like to maybe give us, it's all great what you're talking about, but I'm sure that the space is not free from challenges. But how is BlackFort positioned to address, and what are the main challenges that you have either already encountered or you are preparing yourself and working on, especially I feel like, with the mass adoption, with like that bridging between crypto and real world, what do you foresee, and how is BlackFort going to address those issues?
Yeah, that's quite an extensive question already, and I will try to keep
Let's try and keep it short.
like especially from from our side, people know that if we do such a question and answer, for example, we can do 3 questions and 1 hour, for example. So this is one of those
That's
where
true.
I will try not to be too long.
Whatever you feel.
I'll
Yeah.
just make one quick comment on the previous thing, because it always fits. It also fits here. What we are doing with these type of things, like this our BlackFort exchange network blockchain, it was a lot of work, yes, but it has already been established. It is online, it's finished, and we don't need to work on it anymore. So we now, due to this, we also have built quite a good team of developers that are now working on all of our different things. And we've split them up into these different projects that we are running. So, and one challenge, for example, as you said, for me to mention is to deliver, let's say, 2 or 3 of these big projects at the same time. That is a challenge, and I think it's a challenge for any company. So, of course, we are in our timeline. We want to, take the resources where we need them to be, and then release what we need to release first. What, for example, right now we are focusing on is delivering the BlackFort Pay platform, the e-money platform, where people would be able to open, bank accounts in the European economic area, and focusing a lot of development and a lot of partnership also to that, for example, at the moment. And for us, it's very important to, when we say we are going to build something, we always deliver it. So anything that since the inception of BlackFort, we have said we're going to build, we have always delivered it. There are some things, yes, that take a bit more time because you also don't know about the dynamic of the market. But all in all, we've always delivered all of our products, and that is very important. And secondly, to add to that, what we are mentioning here has all already been financed. So we have all the finances in place, all this, the real world tokenization, real estate, its structure, its company structure, the legal side, the team that is working on it. It's led by Mario, by the way, as the CIO of BlackFort, going into this real world asset direction, leading this channel of BlackFort. We've also pre-financed our first, not one, more than one, it's two, proof of concept apartments that we have purchased that are right now being furnished, that will be ready within the next 2 weeks to prove this concept to the market, and then we are going to roll it out. On the other side, for BlackFort Pay, I am working on it along with our co-founder Lucas, he's not here today, but he'll be joining on other AMAs in the coming few days. We are heavily working on getting the e-money service online, which is it's a different challenge, but I think for us it's fine because we anyway work all the time. And it's going to be very interesting. We are serving personal accounts, and we also will serve corporate accounts. For this case, we have partnered up with banking providers. That we don't need to, of course, do all the licensing ourselves and all the structure ourselves. But for the start, we have partnered also with strong players in the industry, where we come in and say, yes, we have a lot of users. We have more than 120,000 addresses active on our blockchain. We have over 70,000 people in the validation system online, and they are all eager to receive a BlackFort product where you can also on-ramp and off-ramp the cryptocurrency. And I think that's very important because this money also needs to flow.
Amazing. This is super impressive. But I have to ask, I want to go back to obviously the real world assets. But since you've already mentioned that you've already have funds secured for a lot of things and all the things that you were just talking about, I am a very big, I suppose, supporter of security when it comes to crypto. And we do know that it comes with a lot of gaps and challenges. How are you guys protecting your investors?
Okay. I wouldn't say we have investors. Like in our company, we have no investors and we have no debt to anyone. I think what you mean is what we are doing to ensure the ongoing, adoption of BXN in the market, right?
Correct.
Yes. So basically, it goes back to, especially if you're building a blockchain, there is blockchains out there, and that's why we also focus for this native layer one token to also become an off-chain utility function. So BXN is not only serving the purpose of, transaction or smart contract interaction. If you hold it on, let's say, your BlackFort wallet, it serves as a utility for cashback, for whitelists, for airdrops, for all these things. And it also does that in our tokenized real estate project, and it also gives you benefits in our e-money platform. Now, if we're talking about security, of course, there is technical security, and we have audits. We work with Certic, who is the auditor for our blockchain code. If we go for the BlackFort Pay, for example, it is working in a fully licensed manner in the European market with all the framework that you need to have, and goes as well for tokenized real estate. But I think if you want to say you're being secure, then you must keep the belief into the project and the team that it is moving forward. That is essentially and truly the only security that any founder or CEO or C-level of any company can give you, unless they're holding your money. For example, like a centralized exchange, they have a proof of reserve. But if you want to create a secure feeling for people that are holding, let's say, BXN, the only thing you can do is prove to the community that what you say will be delivered.
I guess I'll take this further now with the real world assets.
Yes.
Now, this is a very hot topic. There has been several projects that have actually they were ahead of their time the last bull run, and they have been leading the front this time around as well. A lot of projects are trying to hop on the wagon, but I see there's a massive difference between the real utility and actually building something solid, and opposed to just attaching real world asset beside beside the name. So can you tell us, guys, I don't know who wants to answer this question, but you've mentioned the real estate there. How does it work? What the utility will work like? And I suppose maybe you want to touch on security there as well a little bit. And yeah, just expand on the RWA narrative that is attached to BlackFort.
All right, maybe I can jump into this a little, because that's a very good question, and I think I need to go a little deeper in that. So, if you look at the real world asset approach that has been done in the past, what we could see when we were doing research on the market is there is 3 different kinds of companies that are getting into the real world asset market. So we've seen lots of real estate companies that had their experience in the market for a long time, that are seeing the opportunity jumping in. These companies usually do not have a very good background in development and or marketing these kind of products, so they're working together with other companies and have to rely on each other. The second kind of group of companies that go into that market are development companies that have the tech, but they are not very good with, let's say, real estate, or don't have a community to market it to. So that's going to be very, very hard for them. So they have to partner up with other companies as well. And the third kind of companies that jump into this market is kind of like communities or like companies that have big communities already, so they have that marketing part ready, but they do not have the knowledge in real estate or development. And our focus always was to have all these 3 main focus points in-house. So we are doing everything from the real estate part in-house, we're doing everything from the development side in-house, and we already have quite a big community of more than 250,000 people, which makes it very, very easy, to start it off and get it marketed. And I think that's crucial in this industry, because otherwise you will always have to rely on the success of other companies in order to become successful yourself. And that's why we've been working so hard and have put a lot of money in it already, so that this setup is already there before we even enter the market, which, like we said, will be in a couple of weeks. And I think that's the best kind of security you can have. On the other side, let's just tell you a little bit about how it works, with the legal things and ownership and stuff like this. Because right now, countries, let's say, they're they're not using blockchain for real estate transactions and stuff like this. They're not that far yet. So it's not that easy to, for instance, to kind of like have 100 owners on one apartment and everything is accepted from the legal side. So this kind of stuff will come in the next couple of years. Right now, how it works is that when there is, for instance, an apartment, the company itself owns the apartment, and the tokens that are being bought by the users, it works like a bond, how you can say. So you basically get the same rights as if you would be a partial owner of this apartment, and depending on how many tokens you hold, you get a certain percentage of everything that comes in. And this was very, very tough to work through, and like I said, it took us quite some time, but now we are ready to go, and we think that is the right approach to go into the market. Yeah. That's
I want to add
now.
something. I want to add some
Yes,
short
please.
thing to
Definitely.
the
Go on,
structure.
Stefan.
In this structure, we have a license to do the financing. So we are allowed to do something called debenture agreements, which basically you can open up to a group of investors to work with funds. This is one thing. The second one, there's multiple agreements between each other to make this structure work well. On the other side, we have the license to buy real estate and the license to sell real estate. And on the other hand, we have also the license to manage real estate. So we are creating this framework around 3 different instances to be able to internationally also move the funds towards these things and move the funds also back into where they should be. Because if we are doing this on blockchain, we know exactly that there's no single country that has the full map laid out yet. So we are utilizing different jurisdictions in order to make this structure as stable as possible, to be able to offer an end product to people where they can invest in, where they can buy in, and where we can also deliver back what we want to deliver. Because it's in our full interest to do so all the time. Because if we say we are comparing this to all of our other business models, and at the moment and at the start of it, it's not going to be very big compared to the other things that we're doing. So we take a lot of risk and reward decisions as well, and we use lawyers in 7 countries to do so. So we are stepping forward very carefully, and we have a very big community that is watching us at every step, and they're also involved in it. So, and we were very proud of this, actually. As Mario said, it was complicated, but it will be worth it. That once we present it, then it will also go into the market with as least resistance in the finance world as possible, because that's also very important for any RWA project in the crypto space.
Amazing, guys. I am really mind blown here by everything you're talking about. You can tell from everything you have already discussed how much work has been put into what you've been doing and where you're headed with this. I'm seeing a lot of questions already in the comments, and I always try and keep spaces under an hour, because I feel like it's concise. We want to give you all the juice, all the meat. Crypto is so vast and so versatile, and especially BlackFort is such a project we could be talking forever and ever. I might just ask one more question, and I will most likely just give the floor to the guys that are already holding their hands up, unless Stefan and Mario will want to talk about something else before we do that. But maybe it's time. I
Yes.
will ask for that.
Let's do it.
For that juice, for that meat. Maybe you might be able to share something exclusive to guys that are listening here right now with this question. What are the future technological developments we can expect from BlackFort? How will you enhance user experience? What else you're working on? What are you thinking of surprising us with?
Yes. Well, we're working on the enhancing user experience at the moment by also putting a lot of resources into browser development. That, by the way, no one knows. We didn't say anything yet, but that will be released in the next 2 to 3 weeks, where you will have a very, very beautiful insight into the browser, where we'll be able to scale a lot of operation on, and you will also be able to do Web3 interactions, including something that we have not mentioned yet anywhere else. We are now going to release our delegation and validator system on blockchain, where people can start staking their collateral in our POSA algorithm on blockchain.
Mario, anything to add?
Well, no, I think the CEO said everything already.
Great. I think we're just gonna allow the requests. What you guys think? Unless, like I said, we've had a plan here. We've had a few more questions to ask, but I feel we've covered a lot of content already, and I am curious about some of the questions that I am seeing in the comments. So maybe I'm going to give the floor to Tolga, and we're going to get that question sorted first and work our way around everybody else. You can speak now, Tolga.
Hey guys, very nice. As you guys mentioned a lot about the European Union and Europe, let's say in short. And I see a Medium article about the green blockchain. If you guys talked about it in first 15 minutes, I missed it. Sorry for that. So about real world estate and green blockchain, you guys have any plans, about the green products or the financial products in real world assets as a BlackFort BXN? Thank you.
Well, I can tell you that we're using very efficient servers for our blockchain, and we're using very little resources. But what we can do, and let's do it quite spontaneously, we will do a tweet on BlackFort BXN in the next 5 minutes, and we will say every time we have a retweet or a repost of this post, we will send for planting a tree up to 5,000 pieces.
Wow.
Let's plant 5,000 trees, up to 5,000 retweets or reposts. For every repost, I will plant a tree tomorrow, and I will post the proof under this tweet.
That's great.
Love it.
Give us 5 minutes to prepare this post. And thank you for this question, by the way. And we didn't, Marta, you can also say that we didn't, pre-plan this, by the way.
No, guys, we really didn't. But this is amazing. I love this. I hope this satisfies the answer, Tolga.
Very, very good question. So first of all, regarding the European Union we were talking about, so this goes for our banking services, like the bank accounts and the debit cards. This is for now. This is the first phase. Of course, in the future we will roll out worldwide. But all the other stuff, like the tokenization of the real world assets, this is definitely available for everybody worldwide. This is why we've also taken these steps for the setup the way we have, that people worldwide can get involved. And that's the first part of the question. And to answer the second one regarding a DEX, yes, of course, we are a layer 1 blockchain, and we are already working on our own DEX as well. So we are actually already very, very far with that, and we do not have an announcing date yet, but we're definitely gonna launch one, and then people will be able to do all the crazy stuff, the DeFi stuff and everything as well on it. So that's of course, been taken care of. And, if you want to be like a 360-degree economy in that kind of part, you have to have that, and we will roll it out. But our focus first has been the BlackFort Pay, these kind of services, and the first, get the projects of the real world tokenization going. And then the next step will be the DEX part. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. I'm just going to pick a couple of questions from the comments, and I'm going to pin them at the top. So if you're confused about the question, you can read it up on top. I don't know if you want to take this one, Mario, as well.
Yeah, sure. So what I read already was that if we're also going to tokenize other stuff like precious metals, gold or precious assets from GBuy, I saw that question, and
okay, awesome question.
This is certainly something that goes along with it. But like Stefan said, and now we have that proof of concept for the tokenization of the real estate, and this is what's the focus on now. But then in the next phase of our tokenization, this is a fundamental part as well, because the future lies in tokenization of all different kinds of assets, and we definitely also want to be a forerunner, or at least let's say a good player in this market as well. So we will do that certainly, but also jump into also different other business models what you can tokenize. So but this will probably be not before 2025.
Amazing. I don't know, there's a couple of more questions about Robert has asked about the US market. I know it's definitely a tricky one, because a lot of US customers have difficulties, getting their hands on some amazing projects and actually using them. The debit card will not be available to US customers. Is that correct? Is that the case also for other foreign locations to make foreign bank accounts disclosures?
Yeah, so he's correct in what he's saying. So in the beginning, we're definitely not going to offer these services in the US market because that's a whole different ballpark. So I cannot get too much into detail here. Of course, in the long run, we are looking to offer as many products and services to as many people in the world as possible. But we have to go step by step and have to enter the markets first, which make it easier for us. So we are definitely looking into it, but in the beginning, that's not where our focus is. To be very clear and honest here.
I'm seeing another question. I think obviously the real world assets is super hot, and a lot of questions about this. I'm going to read it out for those who are listening to the recording. Maybe you cannot see. I'll just read this question out to you. The whole real world asset thing is cool, but there's still a bunch of roadblocks stopping everyone from jumping on board. No clear rules from the government, regulation, uncertainty. Figure out who owns what. So I want to know how BlackFort tends to reassure intending investors.
Well, this is it's very interesting actually, and we do believe we have a very, very good setup for this. As I said before, there's not one exact framework in one country that you can use for such things. That's why it's also very hard to move into this space with a very big project. You go in and start tokenizing 1,000 apartments. You're gonna create something that would be an alternative investment fund that is very hard to be regulated if you're doing all of the movements on cryptocurrency only. So what we want to do, or what we do actually, we create for every and that you will see once it's presented to the market, for every project, there's a small framework in place that concerns this let's say apartment only. and it's one flow of money, for example, and it is one flow of a token. So it's not going to be a token economy, as you know, some create some tokens and that will create, I don't know how many apartments or buildings or real estate that they buy or other things. But you need to be sure that if you have one asset, you're going to have one contract representing this one asset. And the more assets you're going to build, you have a scalable contracts for it.
I think in general, what I often kind of have to stop and think about is that we're still very, very early. I mean, we aren't in terms of awareness that crypto exists, but I think in terms of that scalability and adoption and everything that's being built, there is still a lot of room to grow. And I think it's very important to do it right, to do it instead of jumping on every, cool narrative or cool thing that's happening. That if you think about projects that are doing things right and they're actually concentrating on building their fundamentals. I know this is the issue with crypto, where a lot of people are expecting immediately, immediate growth, immediate returns. They're used to that. But when it comes to something super solid, it does take time. And I think this very old saying, Rome wasn't built in a day, is really, really relevant here.
Definitely, yes.
So, with that said, everything you guys have covered so far, I think it has been very informative. A lot of people have surely either got answers to the questions or their curiosity has piqued even more. Certainly, I'm super impressed and I'm going to 100% sign up to that debit card. I'm in Europe, so I will be $1,000,000% using it once it's out. Stefan, is there anything you wanted to mention, cover, add to what we talked about?
Yes. Well, firstly, I want to say it's a great pleasure talking to you. It's a very nice AMA, and thank you for these questions. You know, it's very good to have this, not a generic conversation, but you know what you're talking, and you know what you're asking. You know what you need to ask for the community, and I'm also very happy that we're always ready and prepared for giving all the substance that we can to everyone listening. And I want to say, watch out for what we're doing. Check our Twitter, our social medias. We are going to announce more and more things that we're building, that we're working on at the moment. And I want everyone to follow this journey that we're going on. And I want them to remember that once we have announced, we're going to deliver it. That is very, very important for us. And what would be cool, for example, if we would meet back again, once we have our next product services established, for example, let's meet back again and let's talk about it. It's a pleasure.
100%. Definitely. It was awesome speaking to you. You have honestly, guys, exceeded my expectations for this conversation as well. Everything you spoke about was extremely interesting. And I love that. I really love that. It has been an amazing spaces. Mario, if you wanted to add another a bit from yourself, is there anything else you would like to maybe add we haven't covered yet?
Yeah. No, so I just want to say thank you for this very, very good AMA, and thank you to the community, and hope to be back soon to tell you even more interesting or give even more interesting insights about BlackFort.
Amazing. Guys, I encourage every one of you to follow Stefan and Mario, definitely the project. Do your research, read up a little bit more about it, stay tuned to their updates. There's a lot happening, there's a lot coming. And above all, what I want to say for myself is as well, thank you to everyone who tuned in. And a little bit of faith, a little bit of patience. Market can be tricky, but it's not about quick gain here. We're talking about a very, very solid project that has a plan to really merge with the normies world, as we call it, and take it, to another level. And yeah, thank you very much, guys. You have been amazing, Stefan and Mario. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having us. And I want to say it was a pleasure talking to you. It was very nice. And thank you, Mario, also for joining and always representing this project in the way that you do. It's such a pleasure also to work with you and the other guys from the team.
I'm going to end this here right now. We're going to stay in touch, and we're going to be updating you on, hopefully meet soon again on more very, very interesting spaces.
Okay, great.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye bye. Thank you.